Wendy, don't spend so much time barking, sweetie. I know. Wow. Hey, kitty woo. You doing okay? You alright? You wanna go out? Goodness gracious. There we go. Alright. Let's get this food together. Mom will be online. Mama's gonna be on the phone for a while. Okay? You ready for Mommy to be on the phone? I gotta do my live chat this morning. We've had a couple of weeks of weirdness. We missed everybody. That water's not as normal. You wanna go out with Wendy? Here. Go with Wendy. Good girl. Good girl. Watch your tail. Good morning. There's a few people here. You know what? I didn't put my phone on the right tripod. Hang on a second. Let me fix this for you all. What was the other thing I was going to do? Do this. And put it on that. And because you all know I am still on... I'm still on a cell phone. I don't really want to change that. I don't want the extra stuff. I get tired of stuff. It's just the direction I want to be. Let's see if I can do this. I may not have it quite right to start with, guys. I'm putting you on my little pod stand that Miss Leanna picked up for me. I'm so grateful for that because it wasn't a lot of money, but you know, I just had other priorities in that moment in time. All right, let's see how this is. Oh, not bad. Not bad, but let me go get this coffee I just made. It looked like the water wasn't really hot enough. If you guys knew what was going on sometimes. Where's the... where's the little sideways... There it is. No, that's the wrong one. Oh, I finally realized I'm not the only one in the world when we're doing live streams that, you know, pulls yourself together as you're doing it, because we can be on here quite some time. All right, pull some cords out of here. I think that's for the fan. I gotta remember where that goes someday. All right. I had a little bag for all this stuff. And I didn't like it at all. Oh, here's the one I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Whoop, dropped it. It was little. We're not blaming it on my age. We're blaming it on, it really is little. Here it is on the floor. It's a little, can you see that? It's a little sideways connector. So I can put that in the bottom of the phone. And then I can hook you up to the battery pack that is here at the cabin, and it won't pull the phone weird. Whoops. I hope that'll... No, didn't do it. I think I put it in backwards. Is there a backwards? I don't know if there's a backwards, to be honest. Okay. I've had a lot of trouble with cell phone signal. You know, I've said for a long, long time, if the wind blows, we don't have a signal. Oh, there we go. Now it's charging. That'll keep us on a little bit longer today. Let me go grab this coffee I just made with the not perfectly hot water, and we'll get started with some good morning things. First off, I'm seeing Beth, and I'll read her stuff. Trevor. I see Trevor. Wendy's, I'm hollering at you guys from a distance. Wendy's outside and been barking for some time. We keep having these big military helicopters. No, I don't know why. Do I care anymore? Probably not. Because there's only so much you can really do. There's nothing you could do. You watch them, you know, or you stop watching them. Good morning, anybody that's having coffee or your hot drink or whatever you are having, all right? I don't know if Iris is out here. Let me check that too. But if Iris is out here, Iris, I decided to get the AeroPress Go for when... Come on, guys. These are both guys coming in. Both of my fur babies coming in. Your feet are cold. Oh, her feet are cold. Yeah. It's cold on my leg, too. And snow on the belly. Oh, ooh. The reason I decided to get an AeroPress Go, the old kind, not the new kind, is for ultra lightweight travel, and for mornings when I'm not in a mood to make a pot of coffee or don't have enough water to make a big pot of coffee, like recently. And recently, I dropped my white enamel mugs that I love, and it hit right where I drink out of it, and it's sharp. So, hi, baby. Do you want to come up? Can you get your toys? Get your toys. You want to say hi to everybody? Come here. Mama's doing the video this morning. Come here. Come, please. Up, please. Oops. Up, please. Oh, you make yourself so heavy sometimes. See, is a Wendy and a kitty together. But Wendy's got snow on her belly. Okay, there we go. My beautiful. Check out these paws, guys. This kitty has got paws. Aww. Who's a good kitty woo? Yeah, a good Wendy. Yeah. Anyways, when I dropped my coffee mug, it made it sharp right on where my lips go. So I've decided to let those go. And I do have the new wooden coffee mug up on the wall by the stove. Can you see it hanging? Yep. I can see it's in the frame. And I like it, but sometimes I don't want to use it, that's all. And this morning I decided I got one of these. We'll use this. All right, let me check and see what's going on. I would love for you guys to ask me questions. Really love it. I would also love some super thanks if you would like to. I'm doing some serious thinking about changes in my life, changes in the channel. Well, it snowed. It was 7 degrees the other morning. Probably less than that. But, I have an old school thermometer on the porch outside the window. You shine a flashlight on it in the middle of the night, and it's close to 5 degrees, and you go, yeah, it's close enough. It's probably 7. I don't know. A neighbor said it was 3 at her house. It could have been. I have no idea. But some of these nights, if it gets too cold in the house, Kitty, no climbing the curtains. No. No, no, no. No. Get your toys. Where's your toy? Where's your baby toy? I can't reach them. Anyways, when it's that cold, sometimes I'm up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I'm tired. And so once the house gets nice and warm, I might lay back down for a little while, and then I forget to wake up. Well, forget. I don't do timing. So then I just wake up when I wake up. Good kitty. You're not playing with the curtain. You're playing with your toy. Good girl. Good kitty. I think that I've been mean to Kitty, not on purpose. But Bobby Kitty loves her toys. And she plays good with her toys. And sometimes I think she's playing with the curtains, and she's not. But sometimes she is trying to climb them. So I don't want her to rip the curtains. Okay. So it's hot. It's just not as hot. Let me go see what people are saying. Good morning, Beth. Thank you for coming and helping me out this morning. Got the notification this morning. Wonderful. Yeah, because I've actually got signal right now. And then Beth is saying, good morning, viewers. Please like, subscribe, and give thumbs up to the channel. Still, Beth, if you have questions or comments that you want me to read, please put 3 uppercase Q's in front of them, then I can see them and I will read them. You see something, Wendy? I can feel you trying to bark. And there's Trevor. God willing, today will be better for Lesa than last Sunday. Yeah. Last Sunday was, I was having a hard time too, but whatever. And you can tell by my eyes, I haven't been up a whole long time. But I think it was 3:30. It was about 42 inside. And it was getting too cold for all of us. We were fine. We wouldn't have died or anything. So I got up and I turned the candle lantern on first. And then I went, you know what, let me just fix the fire. So I fixed the fire. And then when I laid back down, I slept so hard and good. And I needed it because having your sleep broken too much is not good. So, and then Iris, good morning. Lesa and friends, good morning, Iris. Homestead Nomads, welcome. That's Beth. Good morning, Lesa. Hopefully you're feeling better. I am feeling better. By the way, I buggered my knee up a couple weeks ago. And when we're talking about buggered, like I stepped out the front door and the step from the cabin to the porch in the front was about 12 inches. And I've always been careful, but I just stepped out the front door and I heard my knee loudly crunch, pop, pop, and the pain was incredible. And I was like, I'm half out the door, half standing on my knee, and I can hardly feel it, and I don't know what's wrong, and I'm by myself. My brain goes into be responsible. So I grab this rocking chair, was out on the front porch. I grabbed the back of the chair, and it's a rocking chair. It's not like stable enough to hold my weight or anything, but I just hung on to it, got my other foot down on the porch, and swung my butt into the chair to sit. And I just went, breathe and wait. You got to find out how badly you're hurt. So I just sat there for a while. And because my phone was in my shirt, I had a work shirt on, was in my shirt pocket, I took it out and I started texting a couple of people. I just buggered up my knee. I don't know what's wrong yet. Just one was Leanna, one was another neighbor. And get any replies from them in that moment, but I sat there a little bit and I'm like, I just got to wait and find out what's wrong. And then I realized I tried to get up to come in the house and I couldn't put any weight on it at all. So I've been 2 weeks ish being super careful. And the next day, I got a hold of a different neighbor and I got a hold of the wife, and the wife sent the husband. But the husband did not want to be here. Unfortunately, it's really sad when somebody comes to help you and the whole time they're trying to help you, they're clicking their tongue and like, I don't have time for this. I can't do this. Let me do this for you. I did not want him stacking 4 high pieces of odd shaped stone that are slippery for a step to come out of the cabin. And I was like, there's a plank right there. Screw it to 2 4x4s. I wanted the 4x4s go in a different direction, but he wasn't hearing me or something. So he put them the long way and screwed the plank on top. It's not the most rodent or snake friendly thing. It'll have to get updated someday. It's safe enough. And it made it so it's not a foot step down. So it's much easier to get in and out. But I asked, when I spoke to his wife, I told her what happened and I asked her, could they please find to borrow me a pair of crutches, a cane, or a walker and get it up here so I can take care of myself. And she sent her husband. Well, like I said, that's not fun when somebody's clicking their tongue and saying they're helping you. You know, it's like, why did you come if you don't want to come? And yet, I am so grateful and thankful, and I pray for them, man. But I'm so grateful because I needed it. He brought me a walker. He took the time, even though he didn't want to, he took the time and he made a temporary step thing. It's helpful. And I had already split wood, but I needed my bag that's beside the fireplace filled. I couldn't carry it. So he did bring that over for me. And then Catherine and Homer came to visit this past Tuesday. And Homer helped me with firewood and fixed my wheelbarrow. So when the weather's a little better and I'm ready for it, I need to empty one of my toilets in the bathroom. And so putting it in the wheelbarrow makes it easier to get it somewhere else. Okay, so for 2 weeks, I've been nursing the boogered up knee. Found that sitting in this chair because the seat was higher helped me not be bending my knee so much. Now, I've done some research. Y'all know, or whoever here that knows me, a lot of you are aware that I was diagnosed with an autoimmune, and the one that they diagnosed me with was MS. Now, whether I want to believe in that and carry that through my life, who knows, right? I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to make it real too much. But when I have things like this happen, I do check MS information. And evidently, it's something that can be a problem with MS,
and there's a certain way to like exercise it. So as the pain was subsiding, I was starting to do things like turn my leg when I would sit in the chair and, do different motions to try to exercise my leg. So I think it's been day before yesterday is the first day with no pain at all. And I don't take medication. So no painkillers, no special tea, just waiting and praying. And so the pain was better day before yesterday. I'm pretty sure that's the right day. And um, then I started. Well, we had the snow. Then we had the snow, and I was like, "Ooh, be extra careful so you don't slip or fall in the snow." So I was careful with that. And the first day it was really cold temperatures, so I wouldn't send Wendy out without a sweater and boots on because I didn't want her to get hurt. Well, I need her to not get hurt, please. So I'm not alone. And so I went ahead and went out to get wood out at the wood pile and in the backyard, but I did it very carefully. I put my boots on. I remember why I don't like wearing my boots. They're zero shoes boots. I like them as a boot for somebody. They're snow boots. But because of that, it's hard for me to get my foot in them. And then I get my foot in, and there's plenty of space and room, and they're comfortable. But they're heavier than my other shoes. And my other shoes are Jubras off of Amazon, barefoot shoes. And so they're just a little bit awkward for me to walk in because they're heavier. But anyway, I wore my boots. I went out to the big wood pile. You got it? Um, and while I was doing that, I realized I can't twist my knee yet. Don't twist it because the minute I almost twisted my knee, there was pain. And I was like, yeah, okay, don't do that yet. So I'm being very careful with it. And yesterday I didn't have any pain at all, but I was careful. And yes, my water's frozen. Yes, this is a dry cabin. Yes, I'm kind of bored inside. I have knitting I can work on, but the knitting just isn't coming to me yet. So right now I've been working on the redecorating, reorganizing, reordering, whatever you want to call it. The things that are here that make it more comfortable, even though this space is small. And until somebody really comes here, they don't get how small it really is. So 12-foot squares, the size of some people's bathrooms. So don't even think. This is tiny. So my arms outstretched are halfway of the cabin. So you put 2 or 3 people in here, you know it's small. But anyway, so I've been keeping the curtains closed more because of the keeping it. When the sun comes out good, then I'll open them up and let the sun in. The back patio, I did not get plastic up, so it got snow. It's about melted off in there and about dry in there again, but it's still cold. It got snow. Um, but it's still, you can get out the back door and not be, you know, totally wet getting out the back door, which is a blessing. Um, okay, let me go check this stuff you guys are talking about out here. So, uh, James Jones, welcome. Be gentle if you're new to our community. We're very careful to just be nice, okay? Yeah. Be nice to each other out here. Um, Iris saying good morning to everybody. Are you still dealing with snow? There's the answer. What do you think? I would say that that's still, whoops, I don't know where to put my hand. I'd say that's still snow, yes. All right. Beth is having orange juice. Wonderful. Iris, AeroPress Go. I will have to Google this. Thanks, Lesa. Yeah, Google it and check out some of the YouTube videos. The AeroPress Go, the old one, not, there's a new one called AeroPress Go Plus. It's more expensive. It's a bigger size. It comes with an insulated coffee mug and all that kind of stuff. I didn't want all the big stuff. I wanted the little, and there are times when I want to make just one small cup of coffee and I don't want a big, not even this size coffee mug. So I went ahead and got the small, older one that's less expensive. And part of that is, see, last week Iris had asked about coffee, and I talked probably 15 minutes about coffee, and you guys weren't even there. I wasn't even there. The signal was gone. So I talked about coffee for a long time, and it did no good. But I think that coffee, grounds, beans that are more in touch with water for a longer time makes a better cup of coffee. So my preferred, now boiling coffee, not cowboy coffee. It's what cowboy coffee is designed. Cowboys didn't wash their coffee pots, didn't, just reboiled things, just added more water, added more coffee grounds, boiled it again. I'll do that in a pinch. Well, I'll do that. But boiled coffee came first. And boiled coffee is not that you just rapidly boil it for a long time. You bring it to a boil where it rolls. You can see it. The coffee grounds, okay, so you put cold water in the pot. You put the coffee grounds on top. Then you bring the heat up enough so that the water starts to boil. When it does, it starts to disturb the coffee grounds that have been getting wet. So you see them start to move. Well, you turn the heat down, or on a campfire, you move the pot. And when you do that, you don't take it all the way off. You just put it on simmer, and you simmer it for between 3 minutes. I learned 3 minutes. Cowboy Kent Rollins says 4 minutes. Well, he's using Folgers. I like Folgers coffee. Yeah, it's probably got chemicals or something. Who knows? I just don't like Folgers. I used it a lot, but to me, no offense to anybody, but people who smoke like Folgers. I don't smoke. And so for me, I want a good cup of coffee. And that's why I was telling you about that the other day. So my quick method that I don't like pour over coffee. I have tried it every way there is to try it. I just don't like it. I like immersion coffee. And so I used to have these long, like, tea bags that had a stick through them. Coughlin's used to sell them. I can't get them anymore. And they hung down inside your cup. And you put the hot water in and you let it sit there I would let it sit for 4 minutes. And then I would still have a hot cup of coffee. And the grounds will have done what I needed them to. And you lift it up and it drains out. And then you throw that part away. So I found that the Stanley French press coffee pot, This one, this Stanley coffee pot with the folding handles, okay, is a French press. I like what I can do with this. I can put cold water and coffee grounds. There's a fill line on it. That's what I'm pointing at. There's a fill line. Anyway, I put water, coffee. The directions say put hot water, put coffee grounds, stick the plunger part on the top, right? Like this, and then wait 4 minutes. That's what they say to do. No. But because this is stainless steel, it's not going to drip, right? I didn't make coffee. I made coffee in this yesterday and I didn't clean it yet. It's not hard to clean. And I can get my hand in this one better. So anyway, so I can put water in this and the coffee on the top, bring it to a boil, simmer it, then put this on. So I'm getting what I like for coffee. Let it sit a little bit to cool down. Pour a splash of cold water in that sinks the grounds. Then do this, push it down. And there's a cap that goes on top. And then you can pour hot coffee out of it. Now, it's not double wall. It doesn't keep it hot. So you have to put it in thermos if you want to keep it hot. Unless it's nice out. But anyways, and I always thought this would work this way, but it was on my wish list for a long, long time, but it never was the right priority. And they had one with the green, this part was green, and I wanted to get the green one, but it was like $30. This one went on sale Black Friday for $19, so I bought it. And I'm glad I did, because I can make boiled coffee and filter it and have a good cup of coffee. And so then I got, after Iris's question the other day, I decided to go ahead and I've been thinking about going somewhere. Which means maybe back to, which maybe would even make me money and help pay for gas. Maybe. Let's be gentle with me on this one. But anyway, so I started thinking about, well, would I take this with me? Yeah, but some of those situations I'm in, I might leave it here. I might take it with me. But I wish I had a smaller so I could make just one cup. Like when I want one cup in the afternoon, right? Or at a time, Wendy, that's a kitty toy. Don't break it, please. That's a kitty toy. Be easy. Easy. It's not yours. Oh, I can't reach. Your baby toys are in there. Go get it. Go get a Wendy toy. Anyway, I know, correcting the fur kids. But so I started looking I was thinking about this stainless steel. I can't remember what the name of it is. The one that's a handle with a plunger on the top. And they made a new one where you could screw the bottom off so that when you go to clean it, you just push the spring on the plunger and it pushes the stuff into the trash can, which was nice for cleaning. But it was 50 some odd or $60. And I get that you probably would never have to buy another one, but I kept just looking at it and reading comments, and I finally just went, you know what? As much as that's an immersion thing, it still has a limit. You can only make so much coffee with it. And it'll pack light and all of that stuff, but I still got to have a cup. I still got to have a... Not me. Go look at the AeroPress. Go again, the little one that ultralight hikers sometimes take. Go look at that one again. And I was like, all right, let me go look. And I decided, because it was somewhere around $35 or something, and I know it was a chunk of change. And I just bought a pressure cooker too. But I don't have those things yet. They're on their way here, but I haven't been able to drive for a couple of weeks with my knee. So anyway, let me get through the coffee thing. So that's why I decided to go ahead and get an AeroPress Go. Haven't even tried it yet, but I know it makes. I've had AeroPress coffee somebody else made me. I know that the way it works is the coffee grounds sit in water, so it's an immersion thing. It's similar to this, just you're not boiling your water in it. So as long as I've got super hot water, I'll get a good hot cup of coffee. I decided to buy it. So that's what I'll probably travel with more than I'll travel with other things. Um, okay, so that's the coffee stuff. Um, Beth, 7 degrees above, yes. Heat wave back in the Northeast. Yeah, absolutely. I know. 40 below was common back, you know. I don't, I say common for a couple of weeks. Um, and while 40 below, you go outside and the hairs in your nose freeze. And so you're glad to put your scarf up over your face. But 7 degrees after it being so warm for so long, I went out with fingerless gloves, and within a couple of minutes, I couldn't feel my fingers. So I was like, yeah, let's be more careful. So, yeah. Beth again. Kitty needs to get Bobby Kitty a cardboard scratching mat. Um, I probably do need to get her a scratching mat. She's inside more. It's snowy. Hey, this girl likes to be outside in the snow. She likes the cold. She asks to go out at 3. If I'm up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, she wants to go outside. And sometimes she doesn't come right back in. Now she's got a cat bed with straw in it in the shower house. And so she can keep herself warm. She can be safe. But she also has figured out how to get up and hug the chimney and stuff like that. So, but yes, she likes it cold, Trevor. It almost seems unfair that where I am it's 11, but at Apache County it's still early at 9:30. Well, I'm in a different time zone, and it's okay. I'm reading things that are not uppercase Q's today. Leanna, hi Leanna. Um, Iris saying it's 8:47 in Santa Rosa. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Um, all right, it buffered. More than anything, I'm just kind of leaving it where it is and not touching it much. Um, Iris is saying prayer emojis. Glad to hear you're on the mend, Lesa. Thank you. Yeah. Um, Beth saying she's laughing. My New Hampshire chicken coop was 18 by 18. Yeah, exactly. I think our chicken coop was probably 12 by 12. Wasn't as tall as this. It was probably 6 feet. I remember Daddy hunching over. So it might have been 6 feet inside. Probably the door was small. Um, Iris. Snow ladies, lol. No snow here, but got cold enough to crack plastic in my coolant system. Oh no. $700 later, I'll be in Santa Rosa bound until paid off. I bet. Okay. I don't know Santa Rosa. I don't know Southern California. I never spent much time. I did at Slab City, and I did spend time at what's the hot springs by Slab City. And but I never spent much time in California. It never just like traveling. I never went to Asia either. It was like it just didn't appeal to me. Iris. January 31 is my 6th anniversary of no beer cigarette. Oh, congratulations! All glory to God. I just used the last of instant Folgers. Gonna be looking for tomorrow's caffeine fix. You know, when I changed things sometimes, I would go get gas station coffee for a little bit while I was figuring out what I wanted for coffee. So, congratulations, Iris. Iris, I missed where you said you may travel. LOL. I hope not to get there again and miss you. Well, I don't know where yet. And yesterday, a little thing got thrown into the idea. So, yesterday, I was asked to teach a class locally here, a class or two. So, I'm considering all of this. And I had another neighbor lady ask me to help her milk goats. And I haven't done that much milking of goats, to be honest. It's not really my thing. But to get free goat's milk. Anyway, I have to consider those things as well. So I don't know the answer right now. I don't know the answer right now. So think and doing it. I'm being led to think about it. So let's see what develops. I didn't say where I might try. Okay. Iris saying thank you, Beth. Beth put out the link to that Stanley coffee pot. Oh, Catherine? Hey, Catherine. Uh, Iris. Do you think Slab City is worth the stop? You know, Salvation Mountain's cool, but since I forgot what his name was, I used to know him. In fact, I was there for his memorial and helped paint the side of the hill. Um, you know, Salvation Mountain's worth it. To see the touristy part is worth it. If you're afraid, things can happen, but you got to remember I did live in Manhattan as well, like in Times Square. So I have street smarts. I'm not as young as I used to be, but I have street smarts too. So I'm not really that afraid of things. I'll just go do what I want to do. But there's more drugs and things than there used to be, but there's always been some. So is it worth a drive through to say you've been there? Yeah. To look see. Is it worth a night? I'm pretty sure that the LOWs, Loners on Wheels, no longer is there. And when they were there, you could around and feel more safe if you were a solo traveler. So for a lot of women, I used to say, if you're going to go and you're going to camp out, just get close to the LOW compound and then you'll be in a more safe area so that you don't feel whatever. Just know that people with pink bats play that up because the more they show the pink bats on, and I don't mean the animals, I mean baseball bats. The people who show those things on YouTube show it to keep you away. So, a lot of people like to go see Salvation Mountain. I'm not sure that I would get in a hot tub with other people now because there's so many more weird diseases and crap than there used to be. I've been in the hot tub. I didn't care who was in there. They're natural hot springs there. I've had a shower in the shower that's the runoff from the um, canal. You have to climb a ladder down into the thing to take a shower. I just, I think all the people I knew are dead now, so, or they're really old. So, you can pay to spend the night at east of East Jesus, but the last time I was there, the young hippie culture people had taken over, and I Iris. That's the best answer. Salvation Mountain is nice. You know that begins with a B. Begins with a B. She works at Salvation Mountain. She lives there now year round. What's her name? Begins with a B. I did a hair video for her channel once. Not Bonnie. I can't think of her name. Anyway, but that's the best. Iris, I'm here for at least a few months before I can afford to travel again anyway. Iris, I missed the pink bats. I have never experienced hot springs. That would be cool. And I understand Salvation Mountain is closed for upkeep. Oh, but whatever that girl's name, she had the green van and the real big shaggy dog. I think her dog died. Anyway, she lives there at Salvation Mountain and helps out now. So I can't think of her name for anything. She was the one who didn't understand how to use Simple Green to keep mice out of her car, mice and rats. And every time she picked a campsite, she would park right beside the water. You got to leave a little distance so the rodents won't get in. She didn't understand that. But she got it after a while. She got it. Anyway. Telling on folks. Yes. Catherine and Homer were very helpful. I had kind of I was struggling that day. I was in a lot of pain. I was trying not to tell them. But I did a lot, and then I had to rest a lot afterwards while they, when they were here. But they were, what a blessing, because they also picked up a Walmart order for me. And I guess that was a little hard for Catherine because she'd never done it before. And Catherine has to kind of walk into new stuff slowly. So, oh, Iris, you're welcome on that Simple Green thing. Yeah. Yeah, they don't like the ingredients in Simple Green. It works. Now, it's not the only thing you do when you have a rodent problem, but it is one of the things you do. And it's one of the ones that protects your vehicle. All right, let's see. So I was going to talk about, hi, Wendy, girl. You being good. You didn't eat very much of your breakfast this morning. Would you like a chewy? Oh, there you go. These are yours. Yeah, you got it? Okay. I didn't notice that Wendy was pulling cat toys out to chew on, but her thing with pulling them out, she didn't have a pig ear. And I keep pig ear. I keep water buffalo ears here for her to chew on. She loves chewing and licking and chewing and licking. And Catherine, that peanut butter I got from Walmart, I won't buy that one again. What an oily mess that is. But I got it. Okay. So Beth is saying, I'm using the Simple Green here in North Dakota. My landlord uses urinal pucks. I don't care for their smell, neither do the mice. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and some people use coyote urine pellets or something. Different strokes. Whatever. Um, what a good girl Wendy is. She's a good girl. I love you. I know Mama's resting her knee and just being here. So, people who are newer coming in, please remember and use three uppercase Q's or give me a super thanks in order for me to read your comment or your question and answer it. So let me talk about what's been going on here with the snow. I got 4 inches. I still have a lot of snow on the ground. So the snow came day before yesterday, and it was very cold. Yes, we were fine. I dug out the wool blanket to put on us so that we would be extra warm in the night in case the fire went out. I keep seeing my hair's fuzzy because I braided my hair and then I went back to bed for a while because I was up at 3 o'clock this morning. Not because I had to, just because I woke up and I was like, why are we suffering when I can just fix the fire? So fix the fire. So I did. Anyway, so yesterday it actually got up to almost 40 degrees. Let's say 38. And so there are patchy spots that are starting to melt. They'll become mud for a while, but there are patchy spots that are starting to melt. And like the roof got warm enough that all the snow fell off the roof. And so, let's see. I did go out, and so it had been cold enough, it froze the door shut on the tracker on my car. I did go out and cleaned all the snow off the tracker. I didn't fix the leak in the back roof. And so I didn't want all that snow melting and going inside. So, and Catherine and Homer had left a bag here for me to give to the uh, thrift store, the local thrift store. And it was in the car. And in it was a big coat. Well, for if I'm bloated, I can't get my I can get my jacket on, but I can't zip it up. So I went to go get that coat, hoping that with my 3 shirts and a sweater, I could wear that bigger coat. I can. It works really good. So, but I had to wait until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon after I cleaned the car off for the sun to warm up the car enough that I could open the door on the tracker. Minor, it's a thing, you do it. So I did. Um, I had a bucket of laundry that I never had finished washing, and I had left it beside the IBC tote where I was filling it with water. And of course, that's a solid block. So I fixed that yesterday so that when it gets enough sun, it'll thaw out and I can hang it on the clothesline and then I'll rewash it and it'll be a thing. But like I'm looking outside right now at the thermometer out the kitchen window I can see from here and it says it's 38 and the sun's shining over there. So some things will thaw and drip more. Um, my IBC totes, where I store my water, the faucets are frozen, were frozen. Um, they're not as much in the sun as the ones I used to have. That's partially my fault. I usually always orient them toward the sun so that in the winter they thaw out faster. It's okay. So, that being said, I want to show you a couple of things, but I'm afraid to move the phone. And because of all the technological problems, I'm probably not going to turn the phone around and show you, but what is this? Catherine saying, turn the peanut butter upside down all the time and it will put the oil at the top. It will, but there's too much oil in that particular brand of peanut butter. It's more oil than it is peanut butter. So it's very messy. I had it upside down, it leaked all over, and I hadn't opened it yet. So now it's in a bowl in a thing. And Catherine, how cool is this? I baked Wendy, not in shapes, but I made her dog treat, a peanut butter dog treat, like a loaf of bread. So I've cut it. I probably will re-toast it so she gets a crunchy, toasty kind of thing. And the next time I do it, I'll probably make them in shapes because that little double pie iron that I got makes such a good oven, and it's little enough that it's worth it to me. So I can put it on top of the wood stove and get a good result, like baking something. So that works really well. The other pie iron thing, sandwich maker thing I have that I use on Sterno makes the best toast ever. Catherine left some slices of French bread here, and I made toast out of it. And I was telling her she had offered me 2 bags, and I only kept 1. You know, I was trying to be responsible and healthy and all those things. And I was like, I should have kept both bags. I should have kept more stuff because I'm snowed in and can't get out. There's a couple of things going on, but it's okay. But so that's a keeper. And if any of you are looking for a toaster that will make you toast, like, for example, on your camp stove while you're traveling, like maybe on a butane stove or on one of the like Coleman stoves or something, that little sandwich maker, that's the one. It makes the best. Oh, my knee's a little sore this morning. This one makes the best toast. You can see that spot. That's where the sterno cans hit it on each side, and heats the center of it. But because the handles fold, but because the inside has those ridges, it keeps stuff off of it, so it actually toasts. And the handles do this. To fold the handles, you got to kind of pry them apart from each other to fold them. That's takes a minute. And then there's a bag it goes in. There's a travel bag. But this one's a keeper. Beth, I don't remember the name. I showed it to you guys a couple of weeks ago. I don't think anything here says the name. I was going to put it in the store, but I can't remember if I did. But anyways, this is a keeper. And if you need a toaster for any kind of camping thing on top of a hiking stove. Okay, let me rephrase this too. A hiking stove or whatever. It also, you got to pull it apart far enough. Let me fold the handles out. Pull it apart far enough, like right there. It comes apart so you have 2 little fry pans too. But where my kitchenette in the cabin is only a 4-foot counter space, I figured if I wanted to cook a hamburger, the grease splatter from cooking a hamburger is annoying, right? But I can put a hamburger in this, and with the lid on it, you can flip it, but it won't be as messy. I won't have the splatters everywhere. So this one's a keeper. I'm looking. The bag is right here beside me. Hang on a second. But I can't remember if the bag. I don't think the bag says. Oh, whoa, don't fall. Ah! I knocked my toothbrush off. Nope, the bag doesn't have the name on it either. But this, yes, makes toast look like real toast, not like camping toasters where you put the toast on a slide on the top of the thing and then they break and they make one side of the toast cold, the outside cold while the inside's hot, and then you flip them around and you still get cold toast. Nah, this thing, yes. This thing, buy this one. And it wasn't much. Oh, Beth, I'm so sorry. I don't know how to find this one for you because I can't remember if I put it in my store. So I really apologize, everybody. I don't remember the name, but it was somewhere around 16 bucks, 14 to 16 bucks, something like that. And yes, I got the one with the silicone red handles, so I didn't have to grab for a pot holder every time I wanted to touch it. So, that one, that's a keeper. It's a good travel. I dropped my toothbrush. Good thing I have those Coghlan silicone things on my toothbrush, right? I knocked it off. Anyway, yeah, that's a keeper. That's so a keeper. And part of the reason, I haven't tried it yet, part of the reason I bought this size was I thought a chicken thigh would fit in really well. So I could get a well-cooked chicken thigh that had grill marks on it. So, but I haven't tried that either. And the bigger Una Casa one, the double one, that's over by the wood stove. I use it on the top of the wood stove. I haven't even put it inside the wood stove. I haven't needed to. But it's heavier, and for what I'm doing with it, the handles are too long. It's okay. It's okay. So I'm probably not, no, I know I'm not going to bring that to travel with me. But that one, I had been wanting chicken wings cooked with my spices and things that I'm safe with. Okay. And I wanted to do sort of like buffalo wings. Okay. And I just was struggling with an oven, a practical piece, not having, don't want to use a whole lot of oil, don't want to, whatever. And, but I don't want only 3 chicken wings. So I thought that the double Una Casa could do chicken wings. And I think it will do a good 6 or 8 chicken wings out of whack. And I could go through a pound of chicken wings and there's no time flat, especially having been carnivore. I can eat a lot. But anyway, a lot of meat. But anyway, it's big enough to do a good batch of chicken wings and flip them and do it right on top of the wood stove, which means it could go out on a campfire, but it's too heavy for me to use it every single day. And I did make those little empanadas in it a few weeks back and put them on a short on my channel. So it worked. That thing worked beautifully in combination. Good job, Beth. In combination with my wood stove. I just don't want to carry anything that heavy. Y'all know I travel in a Chevy Tracker when I go. That's what I have currently. Now, yes, my vehicle could change if it was the right thing. And when it's right, when the great creator leads me to do something different, I'll do something different. I thought about a small pickup truck with a camper top, a wedge style pop-up camper top on the back. I've thought of lots of things, okay? But we'll see what God wants me to do. So So love, 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 love that works. Um, I see that Beth found this. Yay! Thank you, Beth. I know that's a lot of work, but thank you, Beth. Um, uh, Trevor said, I have an aluminum wind blocker. It captures fire. Yeah. I actually ordered a new wind splatter screen for around your camping stove. No, I haven't put that out either. We won't talk about that one until I have it here. Um, because there is a thing about splatter that who wants to deal with. Um, and I really want to keep the cabin as neat as I can. I have such a small space. So, yeah, those windscreens work for your camp stoves. Um, I have had different ones. I've had them in my camp and come visited with somebody and come back and somebody had taken them. Many times I've had somebody borrow them and never give them back. But the splatter screens, they work. So all right, that was that was that was Trevor. Okay, who's this? Beth. It came up as a panini maker. Go figure. I sent you the link to put in the store. Okay, okay. Um, and Iris is saying that's what I need, Trevor. I'm in a minivan cooking a hamburger on my camp stove is frightening. Yes, it is. And Iris, wait till you see the one I'm getting. I did pay 30 something dollars for it. Um, it's I don't think it's in the store either because I wanted to test it before I put it in the store. And I got it came in black or green. I got the black one and it has a little thing for a spice shelf as well as another thing that's got a couple of holes for like your knife or your spoon or spatula or something on the side. Look at my look at my hair. Woo! Don't go outside right now. Anyway, so yeah, I got a new one, and the one that I got is a newer design. They've had it out for a while, okay? The design. But it's actually made so that it can go in a horseshoe shape behind your stove and the sides, the two sides, okay? Nope, can't do that. It buffered. Anyways, my new cat water bowl is a good one. And then I have this jug inside. It was on the back patio, but in the winter it needs to be in here. It might need to just live in here the whole time. So I'm trying to decorate with that orange jug because it's 5 gallons insulated. It did not freeze. And it was already filtered water. I had already filtered it. I have a couple of different filters here, but I had filtered that water. The water in the clear jug was filtered. And so I have those too. But until those tank faucets thaw out, and yeah, I could have insulated the faucets, and I didn't. So I didn't. I'm all right. Um, you yourself and I are still here. Hey, Beth. Um, so this one corner over there, because I'm afraid to touch the phone again. Okay, the one corner over there where my minimalist closet is. Okay, so my minimalist closet is 2 towel racks that I bought from Walmart on sale, $6 a piece, so $12. And then I got these boot hooks off of Amazon, so they're like a hanger hook with a clip. So Keystone, you're here, you stick it out. There you go. So that's my minimalist closet, because this cabin is 12 foot by 12 foot. That's it. Everything outside of that gets weather, serious weather. Front porch had 4 inches of snow on it day before yesterday. It still has a lot of snow on it. But anyway, so this corner where the minimalist closet is, I've already, okay, I have some friendly neighbors who run to, yes, Beth, I thought I answered questions about the inspection. Did I not answer enough? Were there more questions I didn't see? So I'm putting a pet windowsill thing on system. So it's gonna get to be a busy corner, but so it's my minimalist closet. So it's my clothes hanging on the clips. And above that, there's 2 little baskets. That's basically some bathroom stuff. And then this orange jug is near that window. It's gonna, the top of it, I gotta make it look better because the orange just not gonna happen. But the buffer, yeah. The buffer, I don't know. I don't know what you need for questions. So Keystone, go ahead and ask me questions so I know what to tell you. Okay. Right now I'm just talking because I can. So the orange jug will probably stay here. And then that last window will be the windowsill ledge for Wendy and the cat to sit on so they can see outdoors. It's my closet, my dressing space, all of that. So this water jug being here makes sense. I will put a wash bowl on top for washing my face and for like bathroom sink kind of stuff. Okay. And then I will be bringing in probably a bucket toilet. I'm trying to decide what I want it to look like because I can always empty it into the barrels, which is my outdoor approved thing. But I'm getting older, so there are times, right? Or bad weather when you don't want to go out to the shower house because it's cold out there. And I don't have that good seat on yet. Or the bucket can also go to the compost area and be put in there, so dumped in there. So I just have to decide what bucket and the pets area, along with the orange jug as the wash your face, extra water. Okay. And because it's an insulated jug, it won't freeze the same whether I'm here or not. So that's going to be there. The kitchenette is 4 feet by the front window. You've seen that picture before. I'm really happy with the 1 candle Yuko chandelier that has, or candle thing, lantern, that has the shade on it now. I got the shade for it, finally. And what a blessing that is. I like using candles. I have lanterns here. I have no lamp oil. I don't really care about that. But the candles I enjoy any time of year. I also have lights that are technically shed lights that have their own solar panels. Okay, so let me see. I have uppercase Q's. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. You're on a roll. I am. I just do that. I was just curious, how was the last inspection for you when getting the permit of occupancy? I'm looking at property near which well, not which, which well. Was it a hassle? No. No hassle. Piece of cake. Easy. Leanna, I lost signal. I'm back now. Oh, okay. I know I keep losing signal too. But I thought, I didn't realize you guys, I talked and answered all these questions, and here I am doing it again. Keystone, I want to do something like you, dry cabin, hail privy compost, and outdoor showers. So I was just curious about the last stretch of permits. Piece of cake, no problem. You don't have to pay the civil engineer, but you must, that sounds strong, but you must do the process in order. Do the Pale Privy Health Department waste management permit first. Different office upstairs in the county, in the Apache County courthouse. I mean, in the building. It's upstairs. Go up, get your free permit, make your barrels. Ask me about making the barrels, but make your barrels, have them inspected. When they inspect and approve you from the health department, then do your cabin separately. Okay? That's the big thing. And when you do the Pale Privy permit, have a fire pit, even a portable one. Doesn't have to be fancy. Have one cast iron fry pan out there. When they ask you about kitchen and how do you wash your dishes, they will ask you, you just say, I don't wash dishes, I use cast iron, I put it in the fire. I don't wash dishes. They'll sign you off and approve you. That solves all that. Were you able to get that? I hope you were able to get that. Then, as the second process, do the cabin. Do a dry cabin. In a dry cabin, you are allowed to have, got it. Okay, you got that. Okay. In a dry cabin, you are allowed to have a portable battery pack. I have two. This is my small one. Okay? You're allowed to have a battery pack. You are more than welcome. Let's see if I can tip the phone. You are more than welcome to install a shed light that has its own, that light has its own probably 9 volts, might be 5 volt, I don't know, solar panel outside. You are more than welcome to have those in your dry cabin. I have many rechargeable USB lights and things, but I can't stand the sound of USB water pumps. So I tried them. I don't have one anymore. But I have a gas station coffee pot. I put hot water in. So I have hot water all the time. Okay. Well, all the time when I do it, right? I have days when I don't feel like it and I don't feel it. And cold water, there's always a tea kettle but I have 2 tea kettles, so I always have water. And my dishwashing process, because this is so tiny, my kitchenette, you probably saw this in other videos. If I'm careful to only turn this, like I was just doing. Wait a minute. Whoops. Okay. So front door. Wait a minute. Something's in the way. Okay. That's my kitchenette. It's 4 feet. It's actually a kitchen cart from Amazon, right? With 2 shelves. That's all it is. And it was, I dropped something. It was a gift. It was $99 and somebody bought it for me. Okay. And yes, ask Catherine. It's hard to maneuver on that small space, but it's not impossible. The hard to maneuver is that I don't have homes for all my stuff yet, and that I'm still working that out. Okay. But in that 4 feet of space, I'm one person. I could cook for 2 just as easy. Lesa, because of her skills and experience, could cook for a lot of people in that amount of space, but I don't need to. So all I'm trying to do is make it neat enough to do what I need to do. I'm going to make my coffee. I want to make a hamburger. I want a piece of toast once in a while. Now that I can allow myself to have toast, right? I have, the reason I have hung on to this, Bob Wells got me this years ago. It was a, please do a video for me and then you can keep it. Well, I kept it. And the solar panel was outside in the snow and everything and finally died. And I lost the little thingy on the top. But this is the only thing I've got that's got a 110, 120 plug, AC plug on it. So I keep this one, well, it doesn't die. And the solar panel that charges this is on the shower house. So a lot of the year, this just sits in the shower house. But I'm aware that in the winter, it's not good for lithium batteries. So I bring it inside. This is my little one. There's another big one down here. I can't really pick that up. But because I have rechargeable tools, which Catherine and Homer also found out about my rechargeable tools the other day. I think Homer was surprised, or I thought he was, when I plugged them in. Okay, so I have a charger. Where's the plug? Where's the plug? Oh, the plug's there. See, I have a regular plug, so I need this so I can charge my tools. Now, I did find another one of these that's USB, which I could charge on the other one, or I could charge in the car. But the problem with that is it's $56, and I don't want to spend $56. So I keep this, I keep this one because it just won't die and it's good. So we're not getting rid of it because it works. And I did run one of those little washing machines, but only the spin cycle on this, because this is a 166 watt. So the Anchor battery pack that they have now is about this size, but the Anchor one doesn't have that plug on the small one. So anyway, so I have that so that I can charge my tools. Okay. And then I have this other battery bank that John from Frugal Off Grid gave me. He actually gave me 3 of them. 2 of them were dead. I invested money in the company trying to make the system work. I never could get it to work. When my son came, he's a specialized electronics guy. I sent that other stuff to back home with him to Little Rock, Arkansas. And it's working as a backup for electric power in his rented, where he rents. He rents a house and he can take it camping. So that's stuff. Now, I've been watching my batteries for my tools course, it's an older kit that I have. But what I found was they sell them in other countries, like down in Mexico, but they don't sell them in the States anymore. Black and Decker. Okay. Well, there's a few Black and Decker things in the States, but mine are 20 volts. I just found a guy in Australia that has made an adapter for these but not for a 20 volt. They're for 18 volts because most of the Ryobis and the Milwaukees are all 18 volts, not 20 volts. So I'm trying to find out if he's going to make one for the 20 volts. Okay. But he's got a thing that changes the voltage from your tool batteries to 12 volt, so you can power anything 12 volt, including your refrigerator. And a refrigerator will run on his gizmo. A refrigerator will run 2 days off one 18 volt battery. I was like, what? So I'm watching his stuff because I'm low income. Okay. Yes, I'm no longer disabled. Now I'm technically just old. Okay. But it's a thing. And so you can have a dry cabin and have a portable power bank when they do the inspection, especially the gentleman that did mine. He asked me about power. I showed him. He goes, oh, okay, portable, no problem. But that satisfies what the county wanted. And water, he said, well, that's obvious. You got a jug right there. I got that. No problem. That's obvious. You understanding my point? So the only issue I've been running into the last 2 years, and we may run into more of this with the world going crazy, and the new Sodom and Gomorrah being up in the Pacific Northwest, right? But I have had, because I was on SSDI and now I'm on SSA retirement, I have always had fuel assistance for my heating and cooking. Well, boy, have I been having a hard time the last couple of years with fuel assistance. They have always brought me up to 3 cords of cordwood every year. And now they've been screwing with me for a little while. So there's the federal program. There's a local program that's based out of Flagstaff. But the more lower income people there are out here, the harder it is for this process to be. Even though I've been part of the process for forever, the harder it is to do because I'm allergic to propane. They want to argue with me over stuff. So it's just a thing. But there are programs like that. And if you're a veteran, there are some veterans things. There's a lot of veterans out here. There's also, there's the occasional drug addict person. There's the occasional person running from the law, because it's a very rural place where people aren't here. So you got to be a hardy person to be a full-timer. So let me go back. Let me see. Okay. Okay, thank you. Cast iron, check. Fire pit, check. You're amazing. Thank you. Thank you for I'm amazing. It does make me feel good. I will say that. It makes me feel good. But I love helping people. And obviously I'm not in this for the money, because I don't get money. Man, I saw where some guy's making $15,000 a month. How the hell? And then I saw where somebody else said, oh, but it's business. And I was like, what do you mean it's business? How do you make it business? I don't know how to do that. It never came to me that way. I started out, I was doing newsletters so that people who I traveled around would know what's going on, because I couldn't keep up with all the emails. So then it was a blog, because people from RTR wanted to know who I was, where I was, and what I was doing. And then that changed into something else. And then I had a guy that wanted to help me with my website, but he stuck a page up and I can't get into it. And so, okay, let me go back a little bit. Thank you for my time. Yeah, thank you. Cast iron check, fire pit check. Okay, then, okay, I'm tracking. Health department, battery pack, shed light with solar panel, kitchen cart is nice. Did they ask about shower house gray water? No, not at all, because there's no gray water. You have a lovely space. You inspired me to go forward. Thank you. No, they didn't care. Okay, when the health department comes out, at least the guy that came out to me, he was taking notes on how I did it because he's trying to get his approved. Okay? And he works for the county. So he said, "Oh, that's good, Miss Lesa. Oh, you're doing way more than most people do. And no, I didn't need to see that." And I said, "Oh, okay. Well, you want to know more because I already showed you." I said, it's not affecting what you're approving." So he goes, "No, tell me more." So I showed him a few things. But all he needed to inspect were the barrels. They didn't need, I didn't know this. It didn't say it in my paperwork. They didn't need to be buried in the ground where I wanted them. So I wanted mine in the ground so I didn't need a step stool. Because if I'm ever paralyzed, how am I getting up the step to go to the bathroom? Right? So I didn't want to do that part. So I struggled. I paid a guy a lot. It seemed like a lot of money because I kept every week for how long? $100, $100, $100. Do we have my barrels finished yet? Because I had to go to work to try to pay for it. It was a whole thing. So all he wanted to see was the barrels and the lid. That's all he wanted to see. Didn't have to have a stink pipe, didn't have to have a fan, didn't have to have a hand washing station, didn't have to have any of that for him to approve it. And I was worried because I couldn't afford the paint for the barrel, and he didn't even care. Somebody gave me a bucket, a 5-gallon bucket of paint that had gotten frozen, and we tried to put it on and it was all streaky. He was like, "I don't care about the paint on the barrel. Nobody cares." Shit, all that work we did trying to make it perfect didn't need to be that perfect. So then I got a can of spray paint for something else, and it was the same. And I sprayed on the thing, and I was like, "Well, that looks better than the other stuff did. I should have done that." So it's way more easy than they make it out, but do it in steps. Do your bathroom first. Then when your civil engineer is doing what they're doing, they don't need to see your shower house at all. Now, if I was not allergic to propane, let me advise you in that manner. If I was not allergic to propane, I would have one of those Camp Lux or something of that nature, propane shower things in the bathroom. And there'd be hot showers all the time. There'd already be hot showers. I'm allergic to propane. Too allergic to manage that on my own. If I had a husband, that would be different. He could manage it. I wouldn't have to be responsible for that, but he would need to. But you see my point. So the Camp Lux shower thing, you'd have hot water up and running and a nice shower all the time. I found from Central America, probably from Mexico, an old but brand new, never used, wood-fired hot water heater. I don't know how to hook it up. It's outside. It's here. I bought it. It cost me money. There's no directions. I can't find directions online. But someday that will get somehow hooked up so that I can have hot showers. What it will also do, though, is it'll warm the space where I'm going to take the shower as well. Because in order to heat the water, the little fire, it'll be a thing someday. But right now, it's just outside. So in the winter, Miss Leanna lives close to me, and she's been wonderful about letting me come take showers in the winter. Of course, I try to be a nice neighbor. I try to be respectful and kind and leave it clean and bring my own stuff so she doesn't have to like do anything for me. But that's what I've been doing. Now there are hot showers in St. John's. And there is I heard somebody else that had more money than I do that goes every once a month and rents a hotel room. They rent a hotel room which is like over near Navajo. It's kind of on the backside of 7230. So people do it in different ways. Cold coffee, yuck. Keep a 20-volt adapter. I will. It hasn't been long since I hurt my knee that I found it. And I went, oh crap, that would be perfect. I have always thought, since I already have tools, that, okay, I have the Black & Decker Matrix tool set. So the handle of my drill, the head comes off and you can change it for other things. I have the tire inflator, which is good enough for my tracker. Wouldn't be good enough for a big truck. It's good enough for my tracker and the wheelbarrow and stuff like that. I have the Sawzall. I have the it's a mini skill saw thing. It's a trim saw. But I've used it like it was a skill saw, okay? But I have all these parts, they just snap on. You pull the drill head off and you put these, I have the impact wrench, I have all these things. I've always thought, why can't I just use that for my cell phone, but once the cell phones need more power, I don't have the adapter that some Asian places have adapters for these 12-volt batteries that'll let you do bigger things. But I've noticed lately that they're all working with the Ryobi and Milwaukee, and they're all 18 volts, not 20 volts. And they're working with that to make sure that you can run a fan and a work light and I don't want all that crap. I got my own shit. I figured it out. Oops, sorry. But my own poop. I figured it out, right? But I'd rather travel with my tool batteries and switch to a 12-volt tool battery charger that could run off the car. That just makes sense to me. Keep it low key, but to me that makes more sense. I don't know where that's going to go through. Okay. I just see Keystone said that you spent time in the army in Afghanistan. So did my son. Just know that if you come the direction of Witchwell, we have 4 seasons, depending on the elevation you end up in. Now, I own the top of a ridge, and I own down in the bottom, okay? And I'm very close to state. But because of that, I'm at 6,500 feet. I'm higher than most of my neighbors. I get slammed when the weather comes. I get lightning. I get hail. I've had hail in June, July. I get monsoons. There's maintained roads close by, but I now have a newer neighbor a quarter of a mile away. They tear up the dirt road. It makes it nearly impassable for me in bad weather. So those are the kinds of, just remember, it's not just hot here. It's high desert. It's different. In my humble opinion, if you're looking at the whole homesteading package all at one, or maybe doing things a little more permaculture or something. Now, remember, I not only grew up with organic gardening and all that kind of stuff. We had a 1/2 acre garden when I was growing up. There were 6 of us kids. You had to can 1,000 quarts of beans and 1,000 quarts of tomatoes every summer, or you wouldn't make it through the winter. You had to have the pickle barrels, had to be full. They were big, 30-gallon pickle barrels. Um, the growing season for me up on my ridge is the same as it is in southern Maine, 5A. Yes, it gets hotter in the summer, but I also lived in Central America a lot. I've done a lot of traveling. And I learned how to use shade cloth for everything. And so Harbor Freight shade cloths are your friend up here. Don't try to do tents and, well, within reason. You can do tents, okay? I've done stuff, but I've also had problems with stuff. So I could school you on how to go at some of it. But so ask me questions, okay? But your best bet is not always what you think it is. And so, like those portable garages, just the fact that they're a tarp. Now, I'm looking at one that I can tuck in a circle cove of trees to cover my firewood. I'm looking at one for that because I know I can secure it. And the wind, it's protected from the wind. But I have a lot of trees, the junipers. They're not, I have 40-foot piñons up here. Okay. Hardly anybody has that. But you could protect yourself in the coves of trees. Okay. But if you have barren, flat land or flattish land and you don't have the trees, those things are just going to rip. The frame is okay if you can get the metal frame from somebody, but use Harbor Freight shade cloth, and then the wind will go through it and not tear it off. But if you don't know how to put it up right, I got another neighbor, the same one that was clicking his tongue the other day, who doesn't understand how to use shade cloth. And he said, "Oh, I collapsed a thing." No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Yes, I bought the canvas tarps, and well, because you put a canvas tarp on it. You can't with, I've seen it after 3 feet of snow that lasted 5 weeks. No, that's a canvas tarp is not gonna stay up on one of those steel frames like that. But the shade cloth, because the snow and the dripping and the melting can go through, it's your friend for a lot. And you can double up shade cloth, one over the top of the other, and still get a good benefit without losing. Keystone. That's awesome. The county was easy to work with, and the health department inspection of the barrels and lid was easy. Yes. Giving me huge boost of positivity going forward. You're a blessing. Thank you for those I'm a blessing things. And yeah, I mean, seriously, it wasn't that bad. I would like to figure out for the Pale Privy barrels, how can we make the lid be a lid off another barrel? We should be able to. I just don't know when it comes time to get it off. How do you get it off? Right? But if we could make so it's all plastic, that's what I want. I want it to all be plastic. Anyway, but maybe if it's the bottom part of the barrel and you can put it over, I don't know exactly, but there's got to be a way to make it all be plastic. For your toilet seats on the Pale Privy toilets, I told the inspector guy, I forgot his, oh, I'm on the phone. I started off again. That makes the toilet seat as one piece. And you should promote that. Hair thing doesn't work for me at my place. And the flies never went up in the jar, so it was like a waste of time. And I'm a girl, having the urine separator is really important if there are women around and or women visiting. just go ahead and put the urine separator part in. But all you got to do with the urine separator is run it to a soak away the way Brooke something in the wild. Brooke, Bush Radical's wife, the way she did it in her toilet thing. That's her soak away was perfect. Okay? I've done lots of these over the years. Her soak away was perfect. I didn't love her toilet in the house, and I needed to do what was going to be approved here by our county. So separate, SeParetti, I believe. And yes, they're on Amazon. Has a toilet seat. You can get the one that looks like a regular toilet, like a white toilet seat, okay? That has either a blue or a gray inside part that already has the urine separator hose involved. You don't have to do all that plumbing. You drill a hole or two and it's over, okay? And if you combine the urine separator hose into the same thing that your hand wash water goes in, your hand wash water can wash the thing in the toilet, run through to the soak away, and it's all bye-bye, all good. That's, in my humble opinion, the way to go. Now, you also could buy what I bought, but I couldn't afford the fancy one, so I bought Separette's outhouse seat without the urine separator because I couldn't afford it. And it's the styrofoam one. And the lid comes on and up. The flies can't get in that at all. But you got to have good 3M tape to stick it to something. Mine's not actually on my toilet right now. I wish it was, but it's not. But that's because, and I just want to use another part of the barrel, and I want my whole toilet thing to be all plastic. That's the way it, in my humble opinion, that's what it should be. All over it. Let me see what. Beth sounds like New England. Yes, New England. Beth again. I used lots of shade cloth when I was stuck in North Carolina for a year in a commercial concrete parking area. Exactly. Yes, shade cloth is your friend. And shade cloth comes in different weaves. Now remember that at the beach, people have their balconies at the beach, and you often see that they put this stuff up there and it's different colors, right? But it's to keep the wind from blowing on their balcony. It's shade cloth too. There's enough of a loose weave that the air can get through it so it doesn't rip it off the building. You're looking for those things to help you. I use that wind stuff like you would use at the beach. I don't remember what the weave is called off the top of my head, but I use that for the center of my garden spaces to keep my walkways dry. And in the winter, to try to keep some of the snow a little off whatever winter plants I have growing. And then I use shade cloth on the down parts. I thought about buying the plastic, but then I gotta put it up and take it down. And if I want to travel and I don't want to be here, it's a thing. I could, but I don't really need a greenhouse when I'm more meat based than in my Keystone. The Four Seasons seems enjoyable. I don't mind the different weather. I'm thinking you mean if I get stuck on property for a week or so, I'm not going to be upset. writing down, get shade cloth, garden zone, looking up. Yeah. Um, I have a spot I've been saving for a blueberry plant, a blueberry bush, because I think it'll grow there. And I've grown all kinds of things. Now, I had lavender that got big. It got mold during one monsoon and I lost it all. I haven't replanted that. Rosemary grows just fantastic out here. Dill goes gangbusters. Make sure you plant quite a bit of dill around your cabbage because the cabbage moths are bad. And if you go to the feed store in St. John's, your plants will come home if you don't check them. Your plants could come home with cabbage moths. I got them bad one year from there. If you get compost from a neighbor and the neighbor has donkeys and other like horses or mules or stuff like that, you could get cutworms from their poop. Just be careful where you get stuff from. Be a little careful. Yeah, be a little careful with what you're choosing. Now, do I have any problem walking over there, up over there, where every winter there's a bunch of elk poop and getting a shovel and a bucket? Not at all. Put that right in the garden. No problem. Do I have a problem with when I see rabbit poo on the ground? I'll go get a shovelful and bring it back for the garden. Not a problem. I'll put it in the compost pile. No problem. When the cows walk through, the free range cattle, I'll pick up cow pies and put it in my compost bin. Absolutely. It's good for the earth. Do it. I have burned cow poop. Yes, I have dried it, but I have burned cow poop to help with the flies when the flies are bad. It works just like it does in Africa or somewhere. It works. I mean, it's the way it is. Yeah, the urine soak away thing is the barrels as a woman and with a health issue. Okay, I don't take medicine. How many times am I going to say that? Sometimes my company takes medicine. That's not the issue. Okay, some people are like, oh, I don't want somebody else's poop in my compost because I don't know what they ate. Get over it. They're human. Okay, just get over it. Leave it alone. Their dog ate something too, and their dog pooped in your yard. Whatever. But I probably have a lot more urine than some people. Maybe not. I drink a lot, so I pee a lot. But women pee a little differently than men do. And yeah, I'm talking about that. But because of that, your barrels can get too wet. And then, especially if we have a lot of snow, they'll freeze, which is common. But then they never get a chance to dry out before we have a monsoon. And then you've just got soup in your buckets. So avoid the soup in the bucket, okay, by doing a soak away. Now, your soak away, if you're smart and you can afford to do it, which you can if you maneuver it, take an old garden hose, right? Make the soak away go a little downhill from gravity fed, put it into the soak away, and if you want to use it for something, see, your compost piles, you have to water here because otherwise they just dehydrate. Okay, so I insulate mine with straw. I buy a bale of straw for my compost pile every year or two, and I share that straw with my garden beds. Like, oh, I forgot to tell you, asparagus. Put asparagus and sunchokes in as soon as you can. They just take over and they don't need any help. A little bit of straw in the fall, they're good. But I've just said so many things. But anyways, you can make your soak away run into the soak away and then give it an escape that goes to water something. And that is absolutely fine. And I'm the kind of person that if I don't have this on mine right now, but if I'm washing laundry in a bucket, I'll water the garden with the bucket, right? But I'll also pour it down the urine separator part of my toilet when I have it, so that not only does it keep the pipe clean, but it goes out wherever that goes to. Well, that um, dilutes the urine and is great for a garden. So you could do that. Just don't, as a tip, don't talk to the health department or don't bring up gray water or black water. Just don't talk about it. If they bring it up, you'll maneuver it. You wash dishes with a cast iron fry pan, goes in the fire. You don't wash dishes. That solves the problem. You don't have to. Okay? You don't have those, some of the conversation, but don't been approved, and you just want the guy as a neighbor's advice. That's different. So, um, separate urine, separating seat. Oh yeah, Beth must have found that. Yep. Yep. Um, yep. Free cabbage worms with purchase. Yeah. Um, Watch getting compost from mules or horses, straw and water for compost. Your information is so really. Thank you again. You're welcome. You're welcome. Um, Also, when you get ready to do gardening, your neighbors are going to tell you you can't plant anything near the juniper trees. That the stuff that's at the bottom, so the compost from the juniper tree, the juniper berries, the little, I don't know, they're not needles exactly, but the little things that fall, it's the leaves, right? When the dry part, when it falls down, they say you can't, you can use it. I've proved it. It works. Don't worry about it. Add it to your compost. Don't worry about it. Add compost to it. If you want a tree to become pretty, prune it, put the compost, put more compost around it, put your humanure compost around it after it cures properly. Our pale privy pails, the barrels, are supposed to cure for 5 months in above freezing temperatures. Once they've been 5 months without freezing, you can put it around your trees. I don't. I happen to have a nice, good sized compost area. And I just put it in my compost area for now. Years ago, I had an outhouse here, filled that in a long time ago. I also fertilized a different area with composting toilet stuff. It became part of the road when I had to work, when I had to argue with the neighbor about the easement road. And so it's actually in part of the road. So I don't get the benefit from it, but it did good stuff. So I'm not really concerned about that. There's another spot that's newer. That's where I once had to have my driveway because I couldn't afford to cut the trees to put the driveway where it belonged. And now it's not a driveway anymore. But it was kind of in a spot. There's a lot of old straw and stuff there. That's going to grow stuff well. It's not an area where I would have chosen to put it, but it's there. It's we're just gonna do it. It'll be all right. Um, but when you're starting off, not many people have listened to me about this, but I'm telling you, it works. There's a lot of wind out here. Okay, so my wind comes from the west, smacks the side of the house, right where the wood stove is, which is why there's no windows around the wood stove. Of course, it's not smart either, but that's where my big storms and wind come from. But it's also those two windows, that's the west side. In the summer, that's the hottest place. It's the hottest sun in the afternoon. So the Oh, another thing to do early on when you come is get yourself some kind of fence around your immediate living space, especially if you have animals, pets, dogs, anything like that. But to keep the cattle from ruining your 5-gallon buckets and destroying your lawn, just give yourself a little space that's protected until, okay? So, I once I figured it out, the fence isn't as cheap as it used to, but I used to get the same fence I like is this that's snow and sand fence. Okay? And I buy it from Tractor Supply. When I first came here, I could get it for $45 a roll. So I got 2 rolls and made a spot around the outside of my van. And I just camped inside of that, and it kept us safe. It helped me not be worried about Ozzy. Now, Ozzy passed on. He was my old dog. But because I had an owl try to carry Ozzy away, it was a thing. So, it helped. So, protect yourself when you first come, and then work on your big, like, perimeter fence things that you might choose to do. Which you should choose to do if you don't want to have problems with bulls. I recently had a bull try to bust in the yard fence, and the rancher and I worked on it, and the bull is gone now. But he was. I sat on the front porch for 4 nights because he was trying to come in the cabin. It was bad. Anyway, but for gardening, my humble opinion is get yourself T-posts, get some of that windproof shade cloth stuff like they use for the balconies at the beach, okay? That kind. Get it. It comes in different heights. Get it 3 or 4 feet high. Put it along your fence posts. And put, if you can afford rat wire cloth, if you can afford hardware cloth rat wire, use it. If you can't afford it, get chicken wire. But put the 2 things, fence posts, wire, and the shade cloth. Then do your garden inside of that. Okay? Why? Because the wind will ruin your plants. And in my humble opinion, I've done lots of gardening in my whole lifetime. I'm 67 now. And I love the back to Eden style of garden. No till. It works here. I'm just telling you. You don't have to go all crazy. It works. But put down cardboard boxes. Then get bales of straw. Put down a layer of straw, but against the walls that are your shade cloth or whatever, right? Half a bale wide, standing up. Okay. So a bale is a bale of hay is like this. Pretend this is a bale of hay. Okay, not this way. This way. So the bale, there's a candle in here. Okay, the bale of hay comes like this. Take some of the leaves from one bale and put just all over the ground. Okay, then take bales of hay and turn it like this. Take half along the wall, half of it along the wall, all the way around the wall. Protects from animals. Sure, there'll be some possible mice things and stuff. I have to answer this. It's going to make us scroll. Nope, can't do it. I can't do it. I can't answer her and do you guys. Anyways, and so all the way around, at least if you can't afford it the whole way, Do it at least on the part where your wind comes from and your storm comes from. Okay? Insulation for whatever you plant. Then, in my humble opinion, half a bale high, all the way around, plant in the bales. Take out a chunk, put a little bit of compost in, put a starter plant, put some seed, water it good. Make sure you water it good. It works. I'm telling you, it works. It works, it works, it works, it works. It works better than anything I've ever done. And the yield from that is incredible. Ask me again when you get here, when you get closer. Make an appointment to come see me, to talk about it, to meet up. We can meet somewhere else. But I'm telling you, that freaking works. And the ground where you do that, because I had one and I moved one, okay? And the ground where that happened is so rich and it grows things all by itself. So just do it. And some of the new people out here think they know it all, think they took information from all the people that told them this is the only way to do it, and they can't get their garden to grow, and they made these huge gardens, and they got no wind protection, and they did all this expensive, they couldn't afford it. A couple of people I'm thinking about, they couldn't afford it, and they did all this expensive irrigation to these little, dig out a little hollow spot so that the water can sit on top of the plant. Don't do all that shit. Do this, and then water it. You gonna have a few birds? Sure, you can have a few birds. You're gonna have a few butterflies and dragonflies. Yes, you want the dragonflies. Yes, you're gonna have them. It works. It works. It works. It works. I'm redoing my garden space now because I had a covered garden. It worked. I grew lots of stuff. What you want, baby? You want to go out? Oh, I'm stiff from sitting, people. Oh, my knee. Woo! Okay. Okay, come on, baby. There you go. I had a garden building, and I worked it. It worked great. You'll have toads come up out of the ground and live in your garden. They've been dehydrated. They've been like napping in the dirt for years. They will come up and live in the garden. You'll have all kinds of it. It's a little ecosystem thing that happens. It's really cool. I want so bad to get a fig tree to grow up here. I got to work on a fig tree. But anyways, I'm just saying that I had the garden house thing. It worked. It wasn't quite exactly what I wanted. I thought one time, because it was before I built the cabin, one time that I was just going to use it to put a tent inside of when I came to camp here, and that I would put a shower in the end of it, and the shower water would water the garden, and it was a good idea. And then it was like, yeah, I'm done with that, so let's take that out of here. And then I needed the supplies to make the back patio have a roof so it would be more usable. Now it's more usable, but it's still not. Okay, there are holes because it's used metal on the roof. There's holes that I need to patch. It still drips in, so I can't exactly use that. It's not super dry, but the back door is not wet. And then I've got shade cloth for walls on that because I couldn't afford to do screen, and I already had the shade cloth, so I used the used shade cloth. If I can afford to change it someday, maybe I will, but not yet. And I want to put some vinyl, clear vinyl for windows for the winter, so the snow won't come in, but I can't afford them yet. So I'm just not. It's there. I have my drying rack outside right now with clothes on it. They freeze, they thaw, they freeze, they thaw. Eventually I'll get those dry. But, okay, so I'm currently redoing my garden. And last year, I moved my asparagus bed, which had gone crazy over where it was. And so I've moved it to another location. And I'm using this method up there. But it's inside the yard. It's a little easier for me to manage, even if I was paralyzed. And I, because of being paralyzed 4 times, I have to consider that. And because I'm alone, and yes, I have some things to maneuver in the yard. And when I get depressed, or I'm here super long and can't leave, or feel like I have no friends, or nobody ever contacts me, and I start feeling all of that, I can get so I don't do things I should do, or whatever, or that need doing. But a little at a time, I just keep doing turtle steps. Turtle steps are slow motion baby steps because sometimes baby steps are too freaking big. Cut it down to something you can do. Just give yourself a success every day. If the success is, I got out of bed and I went to the bathroom and I didn't spill my coffee, sometimes you got to let it be okay. So, soapbox. I was on a soapbox. All right, let's see. Go back and check what's going on. Jump off from this link. Oh, was for the I'm trying to move the white the that's in the way of seeing you guys, reading you guys things for shade tarps. Yeah, okay. Keystone. Watch getting compost for a mule or horse. Yes. Beth. So Lesa, when are we writing this off-grid startup handbook? Anytime. I no longer have a keyboard for my phone for typing. That would make it easier if I could type it. So I need to do a few upgrades to some stuff, like getting a keyboard again for typing on. And I would love to get the projector. I'm pointing at the middle window. If I could get the projector for my phone and a pull down shade so I can make the screen bigger, type away. I can do it in Google Docs offline, and when it comes online, it'll update it. That would work. I should eventually put the investment into Starlink. I just can't. I was hoping one of these phone companies would start using Starlink on the side, and one of them would offer me. It would be a perfect like marriage of somebody's affordable way for people to use satellite. I haven't seen anything like that. Okay, Keystone. When I get in the area, I'll help you get firewood. I know I'm a stranger, but I'll repay you for this information and boost in going forward with the project. I appreciate that, and I appreciate that you can see a exchange of energies, and yet at the same time, don't stress over it. If it comes as a natural thing to do, wonderful. We'll see what happens. Keystone. Fence around living quarters. Tracking. I plan on rescuing a couple dogs from the shelter when I get in the area. Let me tell you about shelters in the area. Hang on. Finger is shelters in the area. Okay, shade cloth, T-post, chicken wire, cardboard straw. A bull busting in the cabin, no good. Yes, absolutely. Rescues in the area. There's a lot of problems here with we do not have a good dog rescue in the area. We used to have this organization called Good Dog Res, R-E-Z-Q, the letter Q. I'm not sure they're active right now. I have a really good friend, Tina, who runs Red Dog Boarding. She can help find a dog. There are New people come into our area do not understand reservation problems. So, Sanders, which I'm only a mile from the Sanders town line, okay? Sanders is technically reservation. Zuni is reservation. You're going to see when you go for gas in those directions, closer to I-40 or over near Zuni, you're going to see res dogs. Don't feed them. Don't take them from the parking lot. It's not like you guys think. They belong to people. Don't just assume res dogs are up for for grabs. Don't do that. And don't drop 25-pound bags of dog food in the parking lot at Bashas'. They have to go clean that up because those dogs belong to the neighbors. Don't do that. Just, I love rescuing dogs too, but you got to understand it's a little different here. Yes, there is a dog catcher in St. John's. They do not do the whole county. We don't have that. But I can hook you up with a couple of good people so that if you want to rescue a big dog or a little dog, there's always new people coming out here going, I'm going to get rich by breeding Pyrenees. And they're here for 2 months. They hate it. They walk off and they leave 25 or 30 animals to fend for themselves. And we're not talking just dogs. Goats, horses, pigs, everything. Always, always, always. New people come out, they get all a ton of animals, don't know how to do it, and they just disappear. And the animals are... So check with me on that one too when you get out here. Okay. Keystone. I will absolutely enjoy meeting up and picking your brain about gardening and everything. You have a wealth of information. Thank you for your offering. I will definitely stay in touch. Keystone. Oh, that's for Beth. And that is Beth. And then Keystone. Okay, I'll link up with you when I need to find a dog. I promise I won't feed strays. I'd rather find dogs that need a good home and do it properly. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And personally, because I have this weirdness in my body that came with the name of an autoimmune and is titled MS, because I have that, I don't feel comfortable with larger dogs. So I've always said, I'll help with littles if somebody needs. And so when I hunted and found Wendy, I went through a lot to get her. And one of my followers actually paid the adoption fee to a we did not know. I didn't know this. The people that we rescued from were supposed to be a dog rescue. They weren't. They were selling dogs. And a follower paid this woman $325 to bring Wendy to St. John's for me. And we got screwed. Not with Wendy. Wendy is a wonderful, wonderful dog. I'm so glad I got her. She was the right one. But the rescue, which was not a rescue, said that she was chipped, had all her vaccines, and was neutered. I paid $65 to take her to a vet in Snowflake because there were no closer vets at the time. Just for him to say, you got to assume that there's no vaccines because she's not fixed and she doesn't have a chip. And so I had to find a way to do all that stuff. And I did find a way, but I'm not saying it was easy. I want to stress this in case somebody else comes out this way, thinking they can just go, yeah, no, be careful. Please be careful. Now, I know a woman a number of towns away from here, a couple hours away from here, who rescues lots of animals, prefers Chihuahuas. Um, so she's again a little dog, but she's a very good close friend of mine. I trust her and I trust her vets. She's 2 or 3 hours away. But if somebody's looking for a little, especially, sometimes she has a big dog. But I would go to her in a heartbeat to help somebody find a specific dog. Absolutely. Like I said, I got blessed with Wendy. Wendy has turned out to be a wonderful dog. But boy, it wasn't without a lot of stuff. So, all right. Beth said, sounds like I need to come out with my own 40-foot livestock trailer to rescue livestock in Pyrenees. Sometimes, girl. Sometimes. And I have a couple other neighbor friends that have Pyrenees. They just can't take any more. And they're all the time. There'll be another batch of puppies at farmer's market. And somebody will say, I can't give them away. I thought I was going to sell them, but nobody even wants them. So I tried to give them away and I can't afford to feed them. And yeah, it happens. It happens. Beth, just the opposite with me. My Epstein Barr, I prefer a large dog. I hear you. I know some people think if you have a larger dog, you can lean on the larger dog. I can't. And I've been very allergic to dog hair. I seem to be doing pretty good. The healing I've been working on for years is working. I'm way healthier. I'm not reacting to the cat hair. I'm not reacting. And the cat's in the house all the time. She's sleeping with us now. In fact, no, she's outside right now. Wendy and her are both outside together. But, I've been horribly allergic to dog and cat hair. All kinds of things, but I'm doing well. So, I did husky rescue when I lived on Long Island and moved them to New Hampshire with you. Good for you. That was a need. The distance is killing me. I'm desperate for a couple of Pyrenees. Got you. Got you. Yeah, Pyrenees all the time. All the time. Like, I want to say every 6 months, there's another batch. We've been. I just got out of a couple of groups because I just can't watch it anymore. It's like they're forever trying to prevent certain people from just moving to another piece of property and doing the same thing all over again just because they think they got closer to town this time or something. And it's just sad. It's just sad. The coyotes around here have been awful, but lately they seem to be falling victim to avian flu from the snow geese. Oh, really? Wow. Okay. Yeah, you know what I heard? I see, Keystone, I see you're asking that of Beth. Here in this area, I don't like it. I don't want it to be that way. But Facebook is how everybody communicates with each other out here. And I don't like it at all. I don't want to be on Facebook. But if I want to keep up with this person or that person or the other person, I have to have Facebook. So. Beth, Lesa has a pair of knees. One is good. Actually, both knees are pretty good. But as I'm healing this other one up, I have to be a little careful. Yeah. Luke, it's nice to meet you, Luke. I'm glad that you could come out and we could get some of these things discussed to try to help you out. Um, I just have been asked, see, I started the off-grid classes here in this area, and the church didn't know it was me that started it. So now that the church has for a year been going, so I'm going to teach everybody. Um, Now that that's been a year or so going, um, one of the newer people called me and said, I just found out you're the one that started this. I love talking to you. And I said, yeah. And I said, I told you I'm not a teacher. I will sit with people and help them with their problems. I will share what I've got, but I'm not a teacher. I'm a sharer. I have been given this. I love people. I love helping people. I don't like mean people. And so they've asked me to come teach a class. And I said, well, if we can come up with a different name for it, and I'm not a teacher, I will come lead a group discussion, and I'll talk first and then we all talk. Okay? And then we'll do Q&As. And they were like, oh, I love this idea. And so after talking to me for about an hour and a half, that's what right this minute is possibly going to change any ideas I was beginning to have about going somewhere for a little bit. I need a break. Luke, did you say that? Yeah, you said it was okay. So Luke, an hour away from here, 45 minutes, an hour, the other side of Zuni, there is a national monument with free camping. It is it's a campground, and they have a store, and they have these trails. It's all developed. What's the word I want? But it's a free campground. It has something like 10 sites, campsites, including uh, pit toilets, and um, even has disabled campsites. Pit toilets and developed campsites, picnic tables, fire pits, the whole 9 yards. Okay. It's 45 minutes away. When the weather's good, I can just go over there for a night or two and get a boost to my attitude and feel like I'm traveling and I'm doing some of the other things in life that I love. And I can take Wendy and walk the trails and work with my, however my legs are feeling. And I can check my progress by going over and spending a night or two or whatever. I need to fix the leak in the tracker really badly. And one of my ideas for travel included going where I can not only fix the leak in the tracker, but do some other mechanical things. It's possible, but it is. And I believe that that's something we need from here, but I never built it into my process as I was coming along, because even though I knew that was there, I had never gone. And now that I finally went, I'm like, well, duh, I should have been doing this all along. Every few months, if you just go spend a night, you get a recharge, and it just helps tremendously. So I think it's worth it. It's worth it. So, and now because of baby Bobby Kitty, whatever her name, Bobby Kitty, it's a girl, but because of Bobby Kitty, I'm waiting on another harness. I keep working on her walking with us. So if I can get her harnessed, I don't know how it's going to be to travel with a cat, but we'll see what happens. So, Beth is saying, I believe that's considered teaching. Just saying, as a college trained teacher who chose to homeschool. I hear you, but I For some reason, it's important to me to make a distinction because what I noticed with new people moving in the area who got hooked up with the church, they started doing this thing. I know better than everybody else because I have a degree from XYZ. And I was like, okay, well, since you're the expert, you go be the expert. But I got experience, and my experience is big. And y'all know I did this. It's hard out here. I can hardly do this by myself. I've been out here in snowstorms, sleeping in my car, in a tent. I've done this stuff. I got probably way more stuff that'll help you be successful, unless you just have the money to throw at things. And usually the people who come out here and stay out here don't have the money to throw at things. So anyway, yeah. Nature is healing. Help me wrap my head around the Afghanistan and all the things that came with that. I totally understand that, Luke. Totally understand. Nature is very healing. That's why my whole life, when I grew up in Maine, in southern Maine, I spent a lot of time away from the house, out in the woods. It was, first off, I couldn't hear my mother scream. And usually everybody woke up in the night. Um, uh, I would wake up before Dad went to work. He went to work at 4 o'clock in the morning. And even if I would just lay in my bed and pretend, because it was quiet and it was peaceful and I could maneuver. And I was an artist. And then because I was told I couldn't do what I wanted to do as I was growing up, I learned how to sew and knit. And then I taught myself how to make patterns. And I thought, well, at least I can be a seamstress if I can't do anything else. I wanted to be a fashion designer. I actually wanted to be a model, and travel. But I was told, no, you can't do that. Then I was told, no, you can't be the designer because to be a designer, you have to go to art school. Art school will be, you'll have to take life drawing classes. You can't do that. You can't see naked people, so you can't do that. So, all those kinds of things. And until I just, okay, let's not do that. And then, I got married thinking that would, yeah, and then he beat the crap out of me, beat the crap out of my kids, and then I had to leave. And then I was escaping, like trying to stay safe because he was always trying to kill me. And, having guns to your head and guns to your stomach when you're pregnant. And it's like, 7 miscarriages. I've been through it. That's enough, So here I am. I call myself a helper. This is Leanna. Rather than a teacher as well. I love to help others, and certain things I can relate to you, and that distinction between teaching and helping. Luke is saying, I'm not rich, so I'm just looking at a small place, open room like yours, nothing fancy, but very is tea and pipe tobacco, which, by the way, the pipe tobacco is cheaper at the border on I-40. There's a little tobacco shop. I don't do tobacco, but I don't have any problem with you doing it. Where Arizona and New Mexico meet on your way to Gallup. It's not that far away. Tea and pipe tobacco. I don't drink or dabble in drug use. Good for you. Good for you. Yep. And see, I think this is what the elder in a village is supposed to do. Some of us are just trained. We're supposed to feed others, start the morning fire, put on the first little, whatever it is, bit of hot drink and food, with all the herbs and medicine stuff in it, herbs and spices, which are medicine to keep the tribe alive. And then you're supposed to sit there and discuss their dreams and discuss their um, life stuff. And we're supposed to share what we got from our lifetime. That's what we're supposed to do, I think. So here we are. I gotta put a log on this fire behind me. Beth is saying, "You are our elder." Yes, I guess I am. But as an elder, don't sit too long when you're healing something because it gets stiff, and then you walk funny, like I'm doing right now, to get over to the stove because it's getting cold again. Ah. This ended up this size. I didn't really have a plan. And I knew what I was thinking about doing for a foundation, which I did. And it turned out to be 12 foot by 12 foot square. It wasn't like I drew it out that way. But let me just say, in my humble opinion, especially because I have this good sized wood stove, in my humble opinion, for one or two people or whatever, or a bigger dog or whatever, I think the smallest cabin you should build is a little bit bigger than mine. I think 12 wide is fine, but I think you need to go another 4 feet. So 12 by 16 would be better than 12 by 12. It's okay, but I think it would be better. Oh, it's 43 or something out. It's 40 something. Hi, Kitty. I see you, Bobby Kitty. Let's leave that door open a little. Yeah. Yeah, I probably should have my leg up in the air. I don't have anything to put it on right now. Great way to explain it. Elder of the tribe, best ones to listen to and soak in the knowledge from. And knowing that they care about you. You know, their whole thing is to make sure you're going to be able to keep going. And I'm looking at 12 by 20. Outdoor shower, hall and water. That's good. My humble opinion about water tanks, please don't get a 1,500 gallon tank. Not until you've been here long enough that you know where to hide it so a hunter won't shoot into it for the fun of it. Had that happen. And until you know you're going to be here, that you love it enough. Start with IBC totes because you can get one you could get a used one sometimes from somebody for $50, but not often. You're going to pay for a new one, you're going to pay about $300. But, a penny a gallon for a water tank. But start with IBC totes and work your way up. Because if you just come and 3 months from now you hate it, you don't want to be given all the stuff that you've paid to, maneuver. Now, my cabin, let me tell you the honest truth about my cabin size, okay? This is 12 by 12. So 12 feet, 6 foot front porch. I advise the 6 foot instead of 4. There's enough room for a nice rocking chair. These were cheap. They were 99 cents for the 2 of them. But 6 foot front porch, if somebody had to sleep on it, they could. Okay. But anyways, so 6 and 12 is 18, right? And then my back patio that's screened in is another, say, 11. We're talking about. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But if you do it as a shed, just know that the county has regulations, and you can look them up on the website. If you're trying to get a shed to come in, the companies will not bring one in unless the road getting to your place is a cleared 16-foot path, 16-foot wide path. Mine was not until the neighbors moved in, and now it's an ugly, muddy mess. No offense to them, but we had a nice country 2-track road with wildflowers, and now it's just a big, wide open, muddy mess. But he got his sheds, and he got a con box for a. He rented everything. I feel for him because darn, he's going to be making payments the rest of his life, as far as I can see. Not my way. Not my way. And I don't mean that bad. Just not my way. Okay. And Luke saying IBC totes tracking. What a shame. Hunters will shoot water collection tanks. Oh, yeah. Yeah. They will. It's target practice. For me, part of it, I think, is they think nobody lives up here. But I've been standing right beside the water tank when years ago when one bullet whizzed by, and then this spring I'm standing by my fire pit and another bullet whizzed by. So you gotta watch the hunters. Well, I'm close to state trust land. I gotta remember I'm close to state trust land. It doesn't make it feel any better. You can remember the truth all you want and still not like it. All right. So when I buy IBC totes, now it's more common. You used to be able to buy 275-gallon ones. Now it's more common to get 365-gallon ones. I buy off of Amazon. I buy the zippered on covers. They have new zippered on covers that have the silver on the inside of them, so they're UV protective. And they have new ones that are windproof. So they have a little vent on them so that they don't flap mine flap a little bit in the wind. But the fact that they got a zipper, get the ones with the zipper that when you install it, you put it on so the zipper is where the faucet is. That way you can unzip it and see how much water is in it. Don't get the one with the clear strip, because the clear strip is enough to let the algae grow. So for the covers for those. Stay on the up and up of the county. Don't want problems. Yeah, that 200 square feet. If you choose to use a civil engineer, you don't. Mine's not. So you don't have to meet that. But yeah. But you can choose to live in alternative ways. You just hiring a civil engineer is a good thing. In my humble opinion, get out here, get your toilet going, Okay, so while you're doing that process, if you need to have a place to stay and you're not going to bring like a travel trailer or something, we could have the discussion about alternative ways to stay on your property while you're building. But let me just put these couple of things out there. Do not bring a Walmart tent and think you're going to be okay. Okay? Do not. Because a Walmart tent will not survive the free range cattle at all. It won't survive the first windstorm, most likely. Now, that being said, a real Indian teepee, but they're not cheap, is perfect for out here. And you can survive in a real Indian teepee. I nearly did that. I couldn't really afford it, so I didn't. And the other thing that would drive me crazy is no windows in a teepee. Another thing is a real yurt is doable out here, will survive. All the little crisscrossy on the inside would drive me crazy. I don't know if I'm like borderline autistic. I'm just saying to have to look at that all the time, that would drive me crazy. Um, and so all those alternative things I looked at, they just, I couldn't afford them. So I tried a couple of things I thought was going to work, and one of them didn't. I spent $1,100 on a tent that was supposed to survive Burning Man, and it didn't survive a week up here. I had 16-inch rebar stakes in the ground, and the cattle came through and stepped on the stakes, and it went over the hill. And so much for $1,100. In my humble opinion, if you need to come here and you don't have some kind of RV to stay in while you're building, I would suggest that you get the iDome shelter tent. It's not cheap either, but it's been half price for a while, which is somewhere around $600 or $700, something like that. Anyway, it can withstand 90-mile-an-hour winds. They've used them for emergency tents in Hawaii. They also had one up on a hill in Nevada, and it hasn't gone anywhere. I would learn how to put a stove jack in it if you, in any way, shape, or form, would be in any cooler weather. Have yourself a way to have a wood stove or something. You might be able to do buddy heaters, but they create a lot of condensation. I lived for 3 months in a gazelle tent. Gazelle tents were new when I got mine. The problem, I loved it, but I had two problems. The fabric ripped around the zippers. And then the second problem I had, they sent me a replacement tent for that one. But the second problem I had was that the floor is Velcroed on. And not while I was here, but while I was camping in a different area, I had a sidewinder rattlesnake trying to push his way through the Velcro. There's little tiny gaps in the Velcro, and he had his head in it. And I'm not cuddling up with a rattlesnake, so much for the gazelle tent. So, in my humble opinion, that tent, or there's a new one I'm looking at that I would love to have for travel, and it's about $400. Not horrible. Oh, the stout canvas tents are nice. They're pricey, though. They're pricey, but they would hold up. But again, we don't usually have big incomes when we're doing this. So I'm looking at the nature hike. Oh, can't remember what it's called. Lone Wolf 409 had it, 709, 409, had it on his, one of his things recently. It's a hot tent, but it has a sleeping space separate. And so where you sleep is very enclosed. Anyways, it's a thing. I would do that. Yeah. So I want to say it's a something cloud tent. I can't remember. But the iDome shelter, that thing's the bomb. And even if you don't know where you're going to set it up, if you can sleep in a hammock, you can put a hammock inside that. And you can hang things from it, from the frame, which, if you were in a monsoon, would keep things from getting wet. I can see it as a good thing. I can't carry that on my tracker because it's too long. But for a starter or camping in this area, definitely, if you can manage that tent, do it. And if not, I'm looking at something else I might be able to manage for me to be able to travel. But anyways, it's a thing. It's a thing. Yeah, it's funny, Beth. I'm just seeing that. I got credit for 20 clicks the other day on Amazon stuff. But the credit for 20 clicks was like 30 cents. So I haven't got a check from them and a deposit from them in a long, long time. They're supposed to, every time I hit $10, they're supposed to give me the $10, but they don't, you know. I'm smelling the stove. Hang on, Wendy. Hang on, baby. Mama's fixing the stove. There we go. Kick that up a little bit. Make it burn. Here we go. Do you want to go out, Kitty? Bobby, you want to go out? Come on. Bobby's right there at the window. She's looking at you. She's right here. No, we're not going from the front to the back, to the back to the front. No. Mama's almost done, eh? Was planning on roughing it out of your Jeep Commander. Oh, love those. Got a canvas half shelter military type 0 degree. You'll be okay with a sleeping bag. Yeah, the iDome, I would do that in a heartbeat, even over military tents. Some people maneuver with military stuff, but you're going to get tired of having to secure it in wind. And I don't know what your property is going to look like yet. But I mean, luckily, I've got trees. So when I was first here, I had a van first. I camped over there by my wood pile. Then I had a Honda Passport. And I camped actually where the cabin is now. And I ran a 20 by 20 tarp between a couple of trees right here and put the car under it. It didn't work that good during monsoons. It was hard during monsoons. So give yourself enough space to be okay. So yeah, look at the iDome. Okay. All right. We've been going a while this morning. This feels more successful than I've been feeling in a while, so I guess that's a good thing. All right. What else do we need to talk about? Anything? You got any last questions, Luke? Because I know I've given you a lot to think about. You can always get a hold of me. You're savvy enough. You can figure out how to get a hold of me. Let's see. Yes, one time, Beth, I was going to do online consults with people, but it never felt right, so I didn't do it. Um, so let's see. I think we're going to get ready to close up. So let's see. I know that Leanna's feeling better. She's exercising that arm that she broke. I'm feeling better. Keep praying for both of us, please. Um, we know that everybody out here has stuff. Um, Homer's hand is healing wonderfully. I think it seemed like he can't grip the same as he did or something. Whether that comes back, who knows? But let's remember these people in your thoughts and prayers this as we go on this week. Um, Anybody I'm forgetting? Thank you guys for always being here and being a great little community. Beth, thank you so much for all your help and hard work. It's what that is for you. Oh, you're in Pennsylvania. Yep. Been there many times. We used to go to the Feast of Tabernacles in um, I just had it in the Poconos every fall, every September, October. Um, yeah, have a great week. Pray for the world and the people in power. Our crazy world that we're in. And we'll be back here next week, God willing, and the creek don't rise. Same bat time, same bat channel. Y'all have a wonderful week. Okay? Pray for each other. Pray for the world. Pray for those in power. Ciao, y'all. Have a good week.